So here we're going to take a look at some of the advanced features and some things that you can do with the filters menu. And the first thing that I want to talk about is as we're applying filters, which are going to manipulate the pixels, what I would want to do is I want to do that to a duplicate or a copy of the image that I'm manipulating. So that way if I make a mistake, I could always go back to my original. So what I don't want to do is apply any of these filters to the actual image itself. What I want to do is I'm going to make a duplicate layer, and I do that by right-clicking on my background and choosing duplicate layer, and you'll see that it just simply makes a background copy. So what I'm going to do is I want to manipulate this layer, and if I make a mistake I could always delete the layer and I would still be left with my original image. So if I wanted to come up here and just simply go to, let's say, filter, and I'm going to go to kaleidoscope, and I hit OK. If I didn't like this, rather than trying to hit undo, which I might not be able to do all the way back to this original state, I could always come to this background copy. I could then delete that background copy, and I'm still stuck with my, or not stuck with, but I still have my original image. So I'm going to go ahead and duplicate that layer again. And then also with this filter menu, what I can do is I can use some of my selection tools that I've used in the past, and I can apply filters just to specific areas of my image using some of my selection tools. Whether that be the marquee tool, my lasso tool, or magic wand tool, what I'm able to do is just apply these filters just to some areas of my image and not the entire thing. So I'm going to go ahead and use my magic wand tool with a tolerance of 100, and I'm going to select my blue sky. And if I go to filter, and let's say I wanted to go to, I don't know, maybe look at art poster. And you'll notice that it was only applied just to the area that I had selected. And I can continue to change the way that this looks by using this submenu. But you'll notice that it only applied just to the area that I had selected. I'm going to go ahead and hit cancel for a second. And I also have, I'm going to Control D to deselect. What I can also do is select an area, and let's say I wanted to keep the blue sky the same, but I wanted to edit everything else. What I can do is come up to Edit and then Invert Selection. That would then select everything except for the blue sky. And if I wanted to come into Filter, and let's say I wanted to do a water swirl, what I'm able to do is just apply that water swirl just to the area that was selected and not to the rest of my image. So that gives me a little bit more creative control. I could also do that same thing with, let's say, any of my marquee areas. So I'm just going to go ahead and use a circular marquee. I'm going to apply a feather to this. So I want to keep that area the same, and I want to edit everything else. So I'll invert the selection. And now when I apply a filter to it, let's say by the kaleidoscope, you'll notice that my middle stayed the same, and the kaleidoscope was only applied just to the area that I had selected. So this gives me more creative control than just applying it to everything. I can apply just that filter to a specific area inside of my picture. Have fun, play around.